hockey students, middle schoolers, high schoolers. It's nice to be in your house tonight. I first of all just want to thank the leaders of the youth group. Can we just give them a round of applause? Man, you guys are so lucky to be able to come in the middle of the week, see your friends, get some tension out. I don't know, I might have turned out better had I have had something like this when I was growing up, right? I'm so honored to be here. I am nervous, I'm sweating, so forgive me for that. How's your week going? Good? Let me hear a round of applause. Hey. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'll get right into this. I am here because my friend thought I could share a few words with you. I'm a native to Colorado, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have two amazing kids. You already met my daughter, Sabrina. I have a son. His name is CJ, and there they are. This is my life. This is what it's all about for me, and I can't even believe I'm a mom. There was a time where I didn't think I was going to live past 11, 14, 18. I didn't think I was going to see 21, and the way I was acting, I didn't think I was going to get past 21. Life was not easy for me. Growing up here in Colorado, there was no one in my community who looked like me. Everyone had different color skin than me. Nobody liked me. They made fun of me. And most days, I just didn't want to be alive because I couldn't understand why people could hate me for something I had no control over, and that was the color of my skin. Pure and simple, nobody looked like me. So as you can imagine, being a young kid, it's hard fitting in as it is, right? It's hard knowing who's going to like you one minute and who's not going to like you. Well, nobody liked me. My parents were police officers, so there was no talking about our feelings. It was just shut up and do as I say. My parents didn't like each other, so whether I was at school or at home, there was a lot of tension, and I felt like I couldn't escape the life I was living. I was confused, and most times I was just trying to please people and remind them that I wasn't a monster, that I wasn't going to steal from them, that I was intelligent, that I was a human being. And that made me a people pleaser, just trying to get people to like me. And I spent a lot of time doing a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have been doing just to have the cool kids like me. But the cool kids were doing a lot of things I couldn't do. They were smoking, they were drinking, and my parents were not going to have any of that. So then I started lying to my parents, telling them I was with this friend, but I actually was with a bunch of people who didn't even know my name, who were using me for what I had. And that was a heart, and I was loyal, and I was trustworthy. And it got me into a lot of trouble. And my parents either said, get your act together or get out. Where was I going to go? Nobody liked me to begin with. My community didn't want me around. I didn't have brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, so I truly felt alone. But I grew up in church, so we had to go to church whether we liked it or not. And I actually liked church because it was the only place I could go, sing and cry out to the Lord, and be left alone for a little bit. But the minute I left church, I was back in reality. It was a hard place. I never liked my childhood. I try to forget it most of the time, so when I have to talk about it tonight, it makes my heart hurt. It makes my heart sad. I didn't understand why people could be so cruel and so judgmental And I think I've spent the rest of my life trying to make people feel comfortable so they never have to feel like I felt. There was nothing I could do with my skin. I couldn't change it. I couldn't decide. I was just who I was. After elementary school, middle school, I got to high school. And the kids hated me there as well. I was, again, the token black girl. That's got to make you feel good, right? Having names being yelled at you. And for what reason? They didn't even know me. But the sad part was I didn't even know myself. I had no clue who I was. And I would ask God, like, why would you create me? Why would you bring me here to deal with this hurt and heartache? But something inside of me just said, you're going to get through this. You'll make it through this. I didn't know how, but I did. I graduated high school, and I thought, man, now I'm an adult. I can do whatever I want to do. I got my first apartment and realized I needed to get a job. I became a hairstylist to try and make my mom proud. I felt like I could never make my parents proud. I felt like my parents didn't understand me. I didn't have a good relationship with them because I felt like they were judging me like the whole world had judged me. But instead of talking to my parents, I just tried to run. I tried to run away from my life. I tried to pretend like I was like whoever I was around. And I realized that friends would let me down, friends would lie on me, trying to do the right thing still was wrong. Doing the wrong thing was wrong. And I got to a point in life where drugs, alcohol was all around me, and I was like, well, if everybody else is doing it, I'll do it. Although I didn't like it. And when I wasn't at home, I felt like this isn't a safe environment. Where is a safe environment? And I would cry out, and God would just remind me, you're never alone. Never alone. But how was I supposed to believe that? I couldn't see him. Life was still lifing. It was hard. It was horrible. I wasn't skinny enough. I wasn't funny enough. I definitely wasn't pretty enough because nobody looked like me. But this book right here has kept me alive. I don't understand it a lot of the time, but I do understand it a lot of the time. There's drama, there's jealousy, there's anger, there's bitterness, there's rage. I can identify with all that. I remember my grandma saying to me, no matter how hard life gets, keep looking up. God sees you. He's got a plan for you. And right after my grandma passed, there was this movie that I watched. It's been several years. You guys may not know this, but in this movie, there was a point that hit me so hard in my life. I realized that if nothing changes, nothing changes. So I'm going to have to change. I may have to leave people behind that I thought if I didn't have them, I couldn't make it. Well, really, 20 years later, those people are still drugging and drinking. Those people I actually feel sorry for, and I want to pray with them and be with them and show them that there is a better way. Not everybody's ready for this, right? So what do? You just offer up prayers and be a friend. Nobody likes to be judged, so I try not to judge. I've spent my whole life being judged. But I do want to share a piece of this video with you. So if you hear nothing else tonight, maybe this hits home. Maybe you can relate to this. And maybe you'll see that we all might be different in this room. High schoolers, you're going through different things. But really, I feel like this is what life's all about, and this is how we connect. All right, that still gets me every time. Could anybody relate to that scene? Could you feel like maybe sometimes your parents don't understand you, and sometimes they're making you do things that are embarrassing, and you kind of just don't want to go with what they're telling you to do, and you feel like you got it all figured out on your own, right? Your friends know better than your parents know. right? They don't understand you. They can't relate. But the thing is that none of us are really that different. We all struggle. We all have things that we're going through. And if nothing else tonight, I want you to know that whether you believe it or not, I'm here for you. Your leaders are here for you. You're gonna struggle. You're gonna have hard times, some good times. But who do you have in your corner? I could relate to Rocky because I always feel like it's the next fight and the next fight and the next fight. I'm fighting for my life. Thank God I've got people in my corner, such as this amazing woman. Y'all, I am a hot mess all the time. And this young lady right here could see that I was struggling. I was struggling in my marriage. I was struggling to raise my kids. And she came alongside me. She never judged me, never told me I was wrong or right. She just understood that life was hard for me. And I'm so grateful. And I don't know who you're hanging out with, what you're doing in your life, but let me tell you, you are who you hang with. And that's a real deal statement. So you can either swim around in the pond with the ducks or you can fly high in the sky with the eagles. Those choices are up to you. And what?
What if I want to be a duck?
Okay, you can. You're going to have hard choices in life. You're going to have easy choices in life. But I know that as hard as life is without God, there's no way I'd be here. No way whatsoever. Because I have done some stupid and dumb things still. And I'm grown, and it doesn't get any easier. But the Bible tells us that we're to love one another. How many of you feel loved? Can you love if you don't know what love is? I've always heard, hurt people hurt people. Well, what if loving people loved people? Can we be about the business of love, coming together? This community that you have, look around you. What a blessing. Wow, seriously. We can all learn from each other. In fact, my daughter, I want to be like her when I grow up. She's smart, she's sophisticated, she's a friend. And we all need friends. So tonight, I just want you to know that God says that He loves you. I love you. You may not feel that tonight, but I bet you, if you called me on the phone, I would be there for you. I would encourage you to never give up. And there's going to be some tough times in life. But we can make it together because together we're better, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. You don't have to do any of the other slides. Yeah. I just want you to know that you have your whole lives ahead of you, and it's not always going to be easy. There's going to be times where you're going to need somebody else, and you may feel like, I know what to do. I got this. I know what I'm doing. And good for you if you do. But look around this room. Your leaders are here for you. Use them. They're here for you. Not anyone should be without a good friend, like my friend over here. Find your family, find your community, whatever you need to do. Know that you can do anything, whether you have a little or a lot. There's always room for you at the table. Keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy school while you can. And I just want to say thank you so much for your time. It has been amazing, and I appreciate you all.